Each element of getting your truck off a big hill is not hard, but if you get it wrong, the consequences can be severe. G'day, my name's Adam Judge and I've been driving multi-combination vehicles for the last 30 years and I want to chat about managing steep descents. Getting a combination weighing as much as a house down a range descent safely is a demonstration of your professionalism and expertise as a truck driver. But the measure of that expertise isn't your ability to do it once, nor is it doing it fast, it's doing it the 1,000th time out of 1,000, not 999. This isn't something you can afford to get wrong, even once. There's a lot to consider before you point the bonnet off a big hill, but we can break it down into three main topics. So 1, the hill itself, 2, your equipment, and finally 3, the conditions. The first thing you need to know about a big hill is that it's on your run, and where is it? This might seem obvious, but say you get put on a new run outside of your normal area, it's not just reasonable, but a bloody good idea to ask, are there any big hills I need to know about? Once you know that, next you should know where the hill starts and ends. In particular, what's the last safe place to pull up before the top? You're not going to stop every time, but on your first run, I definitely encourage you to pull up, walk a lap of the truck and make sure you poke off the top of that hill with a fresh mind and cold brakes. From that day on, as you approach that bay, ask yourself, how am I doing? Would it be smart to take 5 for a breather and a quick check? And if in doubt, pull up. Now that you know that you've got a big hill on your run, the next thing you need to know is how long, how steep and how twisty it is. Every hill is different. Some are steep but short, some are long and twisty. The curves can catch you out. You might have picked a speed where you can do the grade, but end up going too fast to make it around the hairpin halfway down. Finally, on the road itself, is there any other features you should be aware of? First, are there any arrestor beds? Where are they? And which side of the road are they on? Is it one big decline, or is there a flat somewhere in the middle? Are there any intersections where you might have issues with traffic, like Mount Ousley? Is there anything else which might catch you out? In the farm pickup game, you're likely to face steep descents away from major highways, so they are likely to have narrow lanes with no shoulders. Limited or no guardrails and arrestor beds are rare, and if they are there, might be awkward, narrow and overgrown. So in our line of work, you better bring your A game. We know that we've got a big hill, where it is, how steep it is and anything else that makes it special. With that all under control, the next thing we need to consider is what you're driving. As a tanker driver, you should be all over your combination weights, and it goes without saying that it takes a lot more care to get off a hill at 108 tonne than it does at 25 tonne. Probably the biggest risk here is that you're on a familiar run that you've done 50 times before and you settle into a groove and forget that something has changed. Maybe the approval finally came through and instead of pulling an A double, you're finally pulling that B triple set. My advice is, as you approach that last stopping bay at the top of the hill that we talked about earlier, make sure you consciously think through how your weight today compares to other runs. Endurance brake. It just means a jake, a retarder, or an exhaust brake. These are ways to slow your combination without using the brake pedal. Before you push off the top of a big hill, you really need to have a sense of how much braking capacity you've got in whatever you're driving, particularly when you've changed trucks. In general, endurance brakes have been getting more powerful over the years, particularly the retarders fitted to some European prime movers. But that creates its own challenge. If you've been spoilt with really great endurance braking power and you jump into another truck where yours is in the workshop, make sure you go down a couple of gears and take it easy. On the subject of gears, you need to decide what gear you're going to use before you think about starting down that hill. If you're not certain, you sure as heck want to err on the side of a lower gear. Once you know what gear you want, If you're in an auto, then make sure you know how to use any gear hold features that your truck has. I can't tell you what the right gear is, but a rule of thumb is to go down the hill in the gear you'd need to go up, and if you're not sure, err low. So, that's the key things about what you're driving: how much it weighs and how well it can slow that weight without needing the brakes. This brings us to the final factor to think about: the conditions on the day. There's a lot of things which might change how you need to approach a descent on any given day. So we'll start with the big ones and work our way down. Firstly, the weather. When you're slowing your combination on the Jake or other endurance brake, you're doing all the deceleration using just the drive tyres. When it is wet, those tyres have less grip available, so you need to take it slower. Sometimes much slower. If the circumstances demand, you can lock your power divider to reduce the risk of truck braking traction. Next is traffic. Maybe it's the day before the sale at the local sale yards. Maybe they're harvesting logs out of the forest nearby. Maybe it's school holidays or there's a caravan show on. Whatever it is, just think about other road users. Remember that your company name is written in metre-high letters on the side of the truck, and adjust your driving behaviour to make sure you get home that 1000th time out of 1000. Now, let's talk about you and your headspace. In the run up to the top of the hill, I encourage you to do a bit of a self-check. Is your head in the game, or could you do with the brake? Are you angry? Pull up and take a breather. If you're feeling the time pinch and trying to make miles and thinking about pushing on your way down the hill, that might be the most important time to take a breather. Nobody will remember in a year's time that you're 10 minutes late, but they'll certainly remember if you don't get there at all. Is there anything you've missed? Roadworks? That oversize you heard of on the UHF? No? Well, sounds like we're good. We know where the hill is and how big it is. We understand our truck and how heavy we're running, and we've thought about what might be different today. Time to slow it down, pick our gear, set the Jake on high, and listen to the song of our people. Have a great day and stay safe.